So I've done a lot of stuff with 1981 and 1986 tops, and I've dabbled a little bit in other years, but this will be the first cards of this particular year that I've opened since they came out. And this is a vending box of 1985 tops. You can see very nicely the alternating light-dark pattern, and that has to do with the way they're cut and packed. So this was, the seller claimed this was from a fresh case. I have no reason not to believe that. One thing I notice here is that there's not the bowing that you often get with the cards, and I always wonder whether that in part may come about because of being stored in with humidity helping them bow, but these look pretty straight. Now again, with the vending boxes, one of the problems you do have is sometimes the cards on the edges can be a little damaged at the ends, and also the corners sometimes can get a little damaged because again the cards are not there's the little kind of wiggle variation in height, and also you have a variation in that direction. So anyway, 1985, interestingly, there's only really one Hall of Fame rookie, and that's Kirby Puckett, and that one's a valuable card in high grade. But we also have rookie cards of Clemens and Gooden and Eric Davis and McGwire. This is the set with the 1984 Team USA baseball, and so that McGwire is right up there with the best couple in this set in terms of value. So let's see, how do I want to open these? Always I want to be careful. Let's see, actually, let me, yeah, we'll open it from this end. Just trying to decide exactly what I want to do. Now, I did collect this set when I was a kid. I don't know whether I still have, I don't know whether my 85s exist. I can't remember whether it's 84 or 85 or both that I traded away to a small town dealer, card dealer, for some random vintage cards. So anyway, so again, these look look pretty good here. So we'll go through this. I'm not going to spend quite as much time as I might. There's Hall of Famer Ted Simmons. Gary Pettis. I remember this card. Gary Pettis looked like he was like 14 years old in this picture. Okay, after I was doing this and sorting through the cards, I ran into the Gary Pettis again, and it triggered a memory. And indeed, this is not Gary Pettis. This is actually his kid brother, who was 14 at the time. I just sort of had this in the back of my mind that there was some kind of, when I saw this again, I saw how young he looked here, that there was something going on there. But yeah, that was a little trick they pulled on the photographer. They had Gary Pettis' brother in a uniform, and so the reason why he looks like he's 14 here is because this is a 14-year-old instead of Gary Pettis. So just a little, wanted to throw in that little bit of history in there. Very badly cut Danny Heap. Let's see. Okay, every time you start to see that, you're going to want it to be a McGwire, but that's Mike Dunn. And another one, John Hoover. There's Fernando. I think this card has a little bit of value, even though it's not a Hall of Famer. I'm going to take a quick look at the condition here, close up here, take my glasses off. Pretty good. One corner isn't quite perfect. I know there are some cards that in this set that it's hard to get PSA 10s. So we have the design here on the back. I've already kind of showed the back, but the typical 80s backs, in this case with a green background, kind of a low contrast printing on there. Corey Snyder, he looked like he was going to have a really good career, but it didn't pan out maybe as well as people had hoped. Another baseball here, Billy Swift. Three Team USA so far. Father son, Bill Kunkel and Jeff Kunkel. Or Ken Boyd there. Don Sutton, another Hall of Famer, and both on the Brewers there. Bruce Sutter, Hall of Famer, All-Star card. They had the #1 draft pick cards. Cal Ripken Jr. All-Star, that's nice. Ricky Henderson. There's the Hall of Famers galore here. We got Gary Carter. That one's got damage on it though. Father son Dave Stenhouse and Mike Stenhouse. Sean Dunston, #1 draft pick. He was expected to be really great and was okay. Oops. Rod Carew, Hall of Famer. Kind of not a great picture of him there in the dugout. Either coming back from hitting or getting ready to hit. It's got a little crease, a little mark there. 1968, #1 draft pick, Tim Foley. Ray Knight as a player before he became a manager. Seemed like he was always smiling in his pictures, or at least grinning. Davey Johnson, manager. So this is the 85 season. So the 84, that was the year the Tigers won the World Series. Andre Dawson, yeah, doing okay on the Hall of Famers. George Brett, that one's a fair bit off center. Joe Morgan, record breaker. That card actually has some value, even though it's a special card, a record breaker card. Nolan Ryan, well, of course, even though it's a record breaker, Nolan Ryan is always going to have some value. Odeby McDowell, he was another one that looked like he was going to have a pretty good career and was just kind of okay. Being on Team USA, definitely, being a great college player doesn't necessarily translate into being a great major league player for sure. Got our first checklist. Phil Necro, knuckleballer, a Hall of Famer. Jesse Orozco, the Major League record holder for most games pitched. Alan Trammell. Oh, Dwight Gooden. So there's that's one of the good rookies. Cards off center. And if you're aware of the Project 2020 Tops thing, this is one of the cards that's in that set of 20. I don't know whether I should put him in this pile or not. Maybe I will. Paul Molitor, Mike Schmidt. There's Bill Ullman, 1974, #1 draft pick. #1 draft picks often don't go on to be great players either. There's the father-son, Yogi and Dale Berra. So technically that's a Hall of Famer on there, but Brett Saberhagen. This is his, that's his, I believe that's his rookie card as well. Yeah, that's his rookie card. Not worth as much. It's kind of a lower tier of the rookies, but that would have been a good card to have back then. He did have a good career. Let's see. Eddie Murray. So we're doing pretty well in the Hall of Famers, but still looking for one of them. I mean, again, the big ones are the Clemens, McGwire, and Puckett. I consider those are kind of the three main ones. Although there's some other ones that can be worth almost as much, but I mean, I think we should get at least one of those three. And there's Steve Carlton. Carlton Fisk, record breaker. Longest record, well, that's interesting. The longest game by catcher. So he caught, interesting. So he caught all 25 innings of a game. Huh. There was a 26-inning game that ended in a tie way back. I think that was in the dead ball era in the early 1900s. So apparently the catchers didn't play. Neither of the catchers played all 26 innings. That's just insane when you think about it. On like a 25-inning game, I mean that's almost 3 games worth. It'd really suck to lose a game like that. Darryl Strawberry. This is not his rookie card. It's a second-year card. So this would have been pretty valuable at the time. There's Tom Seaver. He's got something sticking out of his mouth. It looks white. Almost looks like a candy cigarette. I don't know if that's a white toothpick or what. But Hall of Famer. And that's how close to the end of the career. That's he still had a few years to go. He still doesn't have 300 wins yet at that point. Bert Blyleven, Hall of Famer. Reggie. That one's pretty well centered. Okay, so we're about halfway through. Actually, just a bit over halfway through, maybe 55% of the way. Father-son, Roy Smalley. Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer. Oh, that's a great picture. Great picture of the handlebar mustache. That's a nice one. Bruce Sutter, record breaker for saves in a season at that point. 45. That was a National League mark. Sid Akins, Team USA. Eddie Murray, All-Star card. Mike Schmidt, All-Star. The All-Star cards have leaders in some category. So for Mike Schmidt, the best they could come up with was he was 9th in runs batted in, but I think I would have thought he'd rank higher in home runs or something else. But Ryan Sandberg, so a lot of the a lot of these All-Star cards, of course, are going to be Hall of Famers. That kind of makes sense. The All-Star starters. Keith Hernandez, All-Star. #1 draft pick in 1969. Jeff Bros had some good years. Phil's brother Joe. The father-son, Vern and Vance Law. Tommy was sort of grinning at something. Al Chambers, 1979 #1 draft pick. I mean, that's he really didn't have a big career. Joe Morgan. Okay, so Joe Morgan's base card. We had his record card, and this is when he's playing for the A's. This is pretty near the end of his career. Randy Johnson, but not the Randy Johnson people probably know better. Cliff Johnson. This is never would really expect him to hold any kind of significant record, but he set the record for the most pinch homers lifetime with 19. And Jerry Lynch, who was a very legendary pinch hitter, had the old record. Gus Bell and Buddy Bell, they both had really good careers. Sutcliffe, All-Star. The Cubs won the division, and Rick Sutcliffe went 16-1 for the Cubs after being traded to the Cubs early in the season, and won the Cy Young. There's Robin Yount, Ray Boone and Bob Boone. 1984 #1 draft pick Sean Abner, another one who didn't have a great career. Dick Schofield and Dick Schofield. Another Baseball USA team, Flavio Alfaro. Pete Rose, most singles lifetime. The Rose cards can have some value in this set, particularly his base card. Mike Moore, 1981 draft pick. You're seeing a trend here. These #1 draft picks just usually aren't the stars. John Marzano, I think he was a catcher. I think he made the majors. I want to say he did. Don Sutton, most seasons 100 or more strikeouts. It's an interesting, interesting. You think of a Nolan Ryan with something like that, but Don Sutton struck out 100 batters 19 straight years. Which is kind of amazing. Gary Green, Team USA. Then the second checklist. We got the first checklist and the second checklist. Boy, we're striking out here on the really big ones. I'm gonna have two more bunches after this one. So we got Bruce Sutter, another Hall of Famer. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got the Roger Clemens. All right. Excellent. Finally. Definitely off-center in both directions. I'm going to take a close look at this. Corners look pretty good. The back is reasonably centered. But with the being off center, this would certainly not go any higher than, probably wouldn't go any higher than a PSA 8. Now in a 10, this card, I'm just looking here at auctions, eBay auctions. About the last 10 auctions, this card in PSA 10 is averaging about $1,000. But in, say, PSA 8, it's, $15, $20. But we did get one of the big three, so that's good. Yeah, Tim Raines. That was the first one of those we had. This is still fairly early in Raines' career. This is like his 6th year or so. Tony McGwire, Dwight Evans, possible future Hall of Famer. I'll leave that Clemens right there. Okay, so we got two more small stacks here. Bobby Gritchen, a long shot possibility for future Hall of Famer. Okay, we got a real Hall of Famer here. Harold Baines. Ricky Henderson All-Star card, and we got another checklist. This is the 4th checklist. Don Mattingly. So this is Mattingly's 2nd year card, and so in PSA 10 this has definitely has some value. It's a little off center, but that's a decent card. Eric Davis. Now I know I had this card. I think I had a couple of this card. Well, he was one that really was a real stud when he came up. He had a couple of had a couple of really great years. Unfortunately, injuries got him, and so but he was very, very highly touted, and so his rookie card is still worth quite a bit in in Gem Mint 10. This again, typical Topps centering issues. Steve Garvey, for those who may not have been around, this RAK on the Padres uniforms, that stood for Ray Kroc, who was the longtime owner of the Padres, and so this was after he passed away. Gary Carter, Ozzie Smith, back-to-back Hall. Oh, look at that! We got the McGwire. Back-to-back Hall of Famers. That's great. We got back-to-back Hall of Famers, and then we get the McGwire. So we got 2 of the big ones. Now this one, left to right centering is okay. This one's got a little bit of a diamond cut. There's definitely a slant. You can see the slant there. So this is not going to grade too high. I had 2 of these as a kid. One of them I got out of Wax Packs. The other one I bought from a dealer at a collector's fair who had put together the mini set of the Team USA, and so I got a second one in that. But that's pretty cool. Like I said, I mean, I'd rather have a card that's off center in both directions than one that has an obvious diamond cut. But that's still kind of cool. So we pulled 2 of them. So that's about the expectation out of, you got a 500 cards. It's a 792 card set. And of course there are going to be some repeats. So I should mention his stats here. In 65 games in 1984, he had 31 home runs and slugged 878. So he's one who did live up to his potential, with a little help. Although I don't know whether he was on PED's. I mean, he set the rookie record with 47 or 49. I think 49 home runs. Don't know whether he was on anything then. Tony Gwynn, All-Star card. Wade Boggs, that's a card that I definitely remember having. The more I think about it, I'm thinking it was the 84 cards that I got rid of, so I may still have 85s back in a closet somewhere. Goose Gossage, another Hall of Famer. We've done pretty well in the Hall of Famers. We got a pretty nice stack going there. Okay, this is it. In fact, some of these cards are backwards at the edge. That's an interesting pattern. But obviously, I don't think that means this is searched or anything. That would be kind of weird for it to be searched, and you got two cards there. Obviously, the main part of this box was not searched, so I'm going to assume that this was just a collation error, variation by Topps. Okay, let's see if we can pull anything else here out of the last bunch on August. Nolan Ryan, record breaker. We had that. And there's another Oddibe McDowell. These are repeats. Mike Dunn, yeah, We're into another repeat sequence here. John Hoover. There's Fernando. And another Tim Foley. And Chuck Cottier, the last one, so we had him. Okay, so that's the so that's what we got out of this one. So we got 2 out of the best 3 cards. Unfortunately, we didn't get the only Hall of Fame rookie, although I suspect Clemens will get in eventually. We didn't get the Kirby Puckett rookie card. But we got plenty of Hall of Famers. You know, both all-star, a lot of all-star cards, but also a lot of base cards as well. Again, a lot of Hall of Famers in the sets in this era. Some early in their career, and a lot of them late in their career. We did get got the Gooden rookie. I could put him here too. He's just not quite as valuable as other ones, but it is maybe becoming a little more iconic because it is part of the Topps Project 2020. So there we go. So not too bad. Certainly, I have let's see, I've went through 7 1981 vending boxes, and I went through a bunch of 86s, and I have an 85 and 82, and none of these have been, you know, sealed by certified by baseball card the Baseball Card Exchange, but they've all been legit. And again, one of the things you can look for, I mean, I wouldn't buy one off of eBay unless you can see the box open, where you can see, you know, either sealed by a Baseball Card Exchange or see that alternating pattern, which indicates that that hasn't been searched. Okay, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.